Welcome back to our Simplify IT with Intersight series. In this video, we are going to discuss expanding chassis bandwidth. In today's data centers, we would like to maximize the use of available bandwidth and expand when necessary. But as you add more compute nodes, cabling and configuration can become cumbersome. Intersight allows you to use a port policy to seamlessly configure the ports and provide more bandwidth to the network without impacting the rest of the network. We first want to start by taking a look at what is available to the chassis. You can find that in the Inventory tab underneath Chassis and under the I/O modules by clicking on the Input/Output module you want to focus on. Lastly, we will click on the fabric ports to identify what interfaces are currently available. Here we can see that the chassis currently only has 4 ports plugged in. But we're going to add 2 more chassis, so we want to be able to add 2 more 10 gig ports to our Fabric Interconnects configuration. Keep in mind, as we expand bandwidth to individual chassis, we also need to make sure that we have adequate uplink bandwidth according to our oversubscription goals. If we need more uplinks, we cable the ports, and then we add the additional uplink ports in our policy, as we will see here in our chassis for our chassis ports. To be able to edit that policy, what we will do is click on Policies and then find our port policies that we're currently using. You can use the filter here to click on Type and then select Port so we can easily identify our port policies. And so we'll go ahead and update the Fabric Interconnect A port policy by editing the policy, clicking Next, all the way till we get to our port roles. What we're going to do here is we're simply going to add ports 43 and 44 to our configuration by selecting them here in the Fabric Interconnect, clicking Configure, and simply selecting Server. We're going to go ahead and save that. At this point, now we are going to have to deploy our domain profile again to push that configuration down to our Fabric Interconnects. And as you can see, we made a change, so we do see a not deployed change. All we're going to do is click here and select Deploy. As we can see, the interfaces are now online and ready to be used by the chassis. So with that, the biggest advantage is that we are now able to simply update our domain profile and port policy without impacting the network as a whole.